let go of the items that you know you're not going to use and keep the most memorable items. I always say to people, take pictures. That way you can frame the items, even if it's a sofa or a chair or a car, instead of keeping those things and letting them collect dust and getting in your way.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Ideal Home Show YouTube channel. I'm Louise Gookey. Thank you, as always, for joining us. We've got a lovely interview on the way. Joining us today is Clara Ansong, who is the founder of Gemstone Commercial Cleaning Services, a real passionate advocate for mental health and well-being when it comes to organising our spaces. And we're going to be discussing how we can tackle the deeper side of decluttering and overcome those emotional blocks and hoarding tendencies to reclaim our spaces and our minds. So, Clara, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Thank you for having me, Louise. I am doing great. It's amazing to see you again.
This is such a fascinating topic because I think, yes, we can have different stages that we're at when it comes to emotional blocks with decluttering. Some people might be going towards the hoarding tendencies. Some people, it might just be cleaning up on a Sunday that they struggle with. So we all can resonate with this topic somewhere. So let's talk about the emotional drivers. If you could explain to us a little bit about sort of those, what emotional drivers fuel hoarding and clutter habits?
You know, we tend to form attachments to things. I often talk about hoarding. I'm going to start with hoarding. And why it is that people hold on to things, whether they have significance and have absolutely no significance. The reason why somebody gets to the stage where they are hoarding or holding on to things, just a general person holding on to things, is that we form emotional attachments to them. It could be something that somebody gave us. It could be an item that a loved one left for us. Or it could be a memory that we're holding on to, an outfit that we may have worn. Those things, among other factors, cause us to hold on to things and cause us to have clutter in our homes. It can be very difficult to let go of items that we have collected. And I want to share a quick story with you. I met a lady, her mum had sadly passed away, and her mum used to knit, and she knitted the most beautiful jumpers and scarves. And it got many years later, got to a point where she said, I'm ready to let these go. She had to move home, and she couldn't take, the box of knitting that she had collected from her mum. And so she came to me and she said, I've got these items. I'm ready to let them, I'm ready to give them away, but I feel so bad. And what I taught her was that what she needed to do was to say thank you, to show gratitude to those items and tell those items that she was very happy that they served a purpose, and now she's ready to give them to somebody who can actually put them to good use. And that's what I would say to people who are holding on to things that they are not using and are keeping out of guilt, out of a memory, is that look at those items and be grateful that you had the experience with them. And let them go. Give them to somebody who is going to use them. And I often use the phrase "let them go" rather throw it away or give it away. When you let something go, it has more of an ease and it removes that mental strain and that harshness of throwing something that a loved one gave us or giving something away that somebody special must have gave to us. So that is the mental attachment that comes to things. And unfortunately, for some people, they hold on to things and find it very difficult to let them go.
For nearly 25 years, Cox & Cox have been helping people fall in love with their homes with beautifully crafted furniture and accessories you won't find anywhere else. Their buyers travel the world to bring you original designs, always with an eye for quality and enduring style. From freestanding kitchen units and made-to-order sofas to statement lighting, storage and accessories, their offering captures each new season with a timeless aesthetic and effortless style. Every piece is handpicked with care for a collection that is curated for design lovers by design lovers. The English rustic trend is an evocative and layered look with eclectic accessories and furniture full of texture and character. It features colour in deeper tones with embroidered and printed textiles and natural materials reminiscent of cosy cottages and homely farmhouse style. And when it comes to Christmas, Cox & Cox is the place where festive dreams begin. Their eagerly anticipated festive trends are a highlight of the season, bringing together everything you need from show-stopping faux trees, baubles and lights to Christmas liners and gift wrap. So whether you want a serene, nature-inspired festive decor, a little retro glamour, or a fun, classic, nostalgic family Christmas, Cox & Cox have a trend to match your style. Click the link in the description below to create a home you love to be in with Cox & Cox.
Some people need talk therapy in order to let them go, and further psychological help to let go of items that they have collected. And it's mostly those who are hoarders who need a bit more help than just decluttering and tidying and cleaning up their space.
I really like that approach of it's almost like giving it that secondary purpose. So actually you're letting go, but you know it's going to go on and continue its life. You're not just throwing it away, it's continuing. So that memory will live on, be it with a family. How can people deal with, as your example did, a mother passed away, you're in that family home, there's more than just the knitting. How can people still do that without being overwhelmed by the vastness of an entire house?
That is such a sensitive topic, and I feel so compassionate to people who go through that. And I'll share another story with you. I met a gentleman once who had a 4-bedroom house, and when his parents had passed away, every single room in his house was filled with stuff. And he lived with those things for 5 years. And he'd gotten to the point where he said, I feel so guilty. I cannot get rid of my parents' things. And obviously we had to go through talk therapy with him. But I say to people, if you are in that position where you have items that belong to your loved ones who have passed away, is to let go of the items that you know you're not going to use and keep the most memorable items. I always say to people, take pictures. That way you can frame the items, even if it's a sofa or a chair or a car, instead of keeping those things and letting them collect dust and getting in your way. Because what that does to you mentally as well is that you constantly are living with the memory of your loved ones. And what that does for you as well is that you keep that memory, you don't let it go, but then you have it in a picture frame. Or you can have a box that you keep maybe 5 or 6 items that you really treasure from your loved ones. And that way you don't have to keep everything and you let go of the items. Again, it's being grateful for those items and letting them go and allowing somebody else to make full use of them. And I say to people now, I think this is a lesson that we can all learn. One day when we're gone, somebody's going to have to go through all of our items. Why not make it easier for them? So if we think about our space, our bedrooms, our loft, our, sheds, our kitchens, what are the items in there that are just collecting dust or have been there for many years and we've just never used? I used the example earlier of when we move house, we look back at all the stuff we've collected and think, where did all the stuff come from? I would say start getting rid of things now. And it happens to all of us. Start getting rid of things now. And it doesn't have to be, an entire day that you dedicate to decluttering, to donating things. I would say spend at least half an hour each day on getting rid of things, letting go of things, or keep a box right by your door that you can throw things in there for a week. If it's a pair of shoes you don't need, throw the pair of shoes in there. If it's a coat you don't need, throw the pair of shoes in the box. And then at the end of the week, take it to the charity shop or take it to the recycling centre. So if you do it on a weekly basis, that way you don't get that accumulation of things building up in the home.
That is such a good piece of advice. And the fact that you can do it in those stages rather than just do it all at once. It's just a little bits here and there.
Exactly. It is the most overwhelming thing for people to do is decluttering their space, especially if it's piled up. It's been years of not decluttering your space. It can be really overwhelming to just set one day to declutter an entire space. People who do that tend to put it off, and then they find that years later they haven't actually started. So I would say definitely start by having a box or a plastic bag right by the door or in the bedroom where you dump things that you don't need, things that you're going to sell. Just have one box, and at the end of the week, put it in the car or take it to the recycling centre. Let somebody else have perfect use of it.
Yeah. Clara, thank you so much for joining us again here on the Ideal Home Show YouTube channel. Just before we go, where do we find you? What's your Instagram?
Yes, my Instagram is officially Clara. You can also find me on Facebook, which is Clara Ansong, and LinkedIn, Clara Ansong. Or you can also find me on Amazon. I've got my 2 books there, Start Your Cleaning Business, and also The Mental Health Benefits of a Clean and Tidy Home.
Thank you, Clara, for joining us and sharing your wisdom. We look forward to having you back on the channel. In the meantime, everyone else, thank you so much for watching. As always, make sure you like, subscribe, do all the usual stuff, and check out Clara's other interviews where we delve into more tips around decluttering and also the interviews from our other experts. And we'll see you here on the Ideal Home Show YouTube channel very soon. Thank you so much.